am Rich, and this is Formula One Fans of America, Season 2, Episode 19. We're going to catch up on the Italian Grand Prix at Monza. We were right, we were wrong, just kicking it off. I had a pretty accurate top 5 prediction. So I had Lando, Oscar, George Russell, Max, and Charles, and that went my way. Jay had Charles, Lewis, Max, Lando, Oscar. No Lewis in the top 5, but still solid top 3 prediction. And Fabian had Oscar, Charles, Lando, DNFing, which, I mean, good prediction, but didn't pan out. Lando finished. Hulk, who didn't finish the race at all, and then Max and Lewis. So, yeah, I won this week. But fastest race ever. Fastest lap time in F1 history. Yeah, Jay's caption says it all. The tractor goes vroom. Like, he drove the fucking wheels off that car. Excuse my language. I'll edit that out. We're trying to make this show more mass appealing, so no swearing as much as we can all avoid it. But just exceptional execution from Max. Like, you can't say enough good things about him as a driver. He's steadily becoming, making me a fan as I watch him reach down to sim racers and make racing and professional racing attainable for people with lesser income. It's one of the many reasons why I like Lewis, and it's awesome to see Max doing it too. One of my favorites part of the weekend was when he was on the podium right before they played his anthem, and you had the "do Max Verstappen" song. The whole crowd was chanting it. Just really awesome, really special. It was cool.
If you're gonna say it, you need to sing it.
Oh, I'm not a singer. Not a singer. But very, very cool to see that from the Italian GP fans, and they're true race fans over there. That was awesome. Let's jump right into this. So, Fabian, I'm going to kick it over to you, but let's talk about the papaya rules real quick.
Yeah, there's so many ways to look at it. And of course, the team is spinning it the way they want to spin it. But with the World Drivers' Championship already settled, I don't see any reason for the wall to interfere with the racing, period. It just shouldn't happen. And that's why Max roasted him, and I'm glad that he did. That's my take.
I mean, Oscar immediately gave it back, but he was protesting over the radio because, yeah, there's a similar situation from the Hungarian Grand Prix last year where Oscar got his first win. We talked about it, and, I didn't like Lando holding out till the very, very end to give it back to him. It was what I disliked the most about it. I think Oscar was a little bit frustrated and peeved about it because you have to question, like, what are these rules actually then if you're going to change them in the middle of a race? Because it sounded like, to his knowledge, that a slow pit stop was just going to be part of racing and that they wouldn't do that again. I don't know if they're sort of, I don't know why they would do this. Didn't seem very solid to me, especially when this year they're competing in the World Drivers' Championship, and that's what, there's a swing in the points there. So kind of makes Lando look like the favorite child over there. But yeah, Meg, what do you think about that?
I thought it was just odd.
Yeah.
Like, we get it, you're the same team, so it's not like they're, trying to sabotage each other. Like, if there were 2 separate pit crews, I would kind of probably see it, but it's the same team, or it's the same pit crew for each driver. So it just doesn't really make sense to me in any way they spin it, why they would switch it back and just keep it fair racing instead. Like, especially when
I didn't like it at all.
Oscar's far enough ahead anyway. And they did it for what? I think it was 2 points difference, was it? 3 points. They did it for 3 points.
Yeah. Pretty logical to me. Jay, you got anything on this? You are talking, but you're not coming through with audio. But yeah, while we get that sorted out, it just seems very logical to me. I didn't like it. I don't think anybody liked it. I could tell Oscar didn't like it. However, the consummate professional and mature individual that he is, he handled it like a pro.
I mean, Oscar is the pretty much essentially the poster child of a team player.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Okie dokie. I should have.
There we go.
So no one said a word whenever Lando stayed back on Danny Rick and Monza back in 21. Lando could have passed the ever-living hell out of him, and we all know that. But nobody said a word whenever team orders came down and said, let Danny win. No one said a word.
Fair enough.
In Hungary, there was no reason for Lando to give back that position to Oscar other than Oscar had the position previously. Does not matter. The undercut worked very well in Hungary that year. Lando was competing for the World Drivers' Championship, whereas Oscar was not. So, once again, too bad, so sad. Like, a gun malfunction, if it was Lando missed his marks, or he was doing something stupid, or something like that, I could see people complaining about the not giving it back and whatever. But the fact of the matter is that it was a tool malfunction. That literally had nothing to do with Oscar or Lando. And it cost them 4 seconds in the pit box.
Yeah, it wasn't even a strategy issue. So I see completely what you're saying. I think even, Oscar himself didn't even like it last time when it happened, because like, that's not how you want to get your first win, and like, one of the most memorable races of your life as a F1 driver is going to be the first time you win. And like, it almost tainted it. I think we talked about that last season.
Yeah, we did. But like, realistically, I'm against team orders in general. I know you guys have said it in the past that, team orders, if it's said, it should be obeyed. No. Simple as that. I think Max did it absolutely right. What was that? 2 years ago? Was that Brazil? Fabian, was that Brazil that Max said, I'm not letting Checo pass me?
The location, I don't recall, but I do remember it very, very, very well. Was it Checo or was it Ricardo?
It was Checo.
It was Checo, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was Brazil, though. For some reason, when I hear it in my head, I don't see that circuit, but
I thought it was. I
remember the incident you were referring to very, very clearly.
But regardless, I mean, there's been bad team orders from McLaren for the past 10 years. Like, realistically, they shouldn't be allowed to give team orders, period. But it still goes through. And actually, I thought they put like something of a ban on it or something like that a few years back. Where they couldn't come out and say directly, like, this is a order, this is, blah, blah, blah. So I want to say they just like modified how they say it, but at the same time, it's like, I don't care enough. Lando drove the wheels off that car. He competed with Max for how many laps? Like, Oscar just fell off. It's that simple. And realistically, we've seen Oscar get lucky in several races recently where Lando should have had the win or should have been a lot closer. So I think 3 points is better than 25 that Oscar could have lost.
Yeah. Do you think that plays into it a little bit too? Like the overall strategy and why they issued the order is because exactly what you're saying, like Lando's been not necessarily cheated, but just had several strokes of bad luck, and it's gone Oscar's way. And so it's kind of like a way of balancing it out.
I think that plays a part in it, but at the same time, I don't think they actually care about that portion of it. I think it's more the fact that now that favor's returned from last year and nothing can be said throughout the rest.
I would hope so, and I would hope that that's the outcome. Like, we're not in their internal meetings, but I have to imagine that this is going to be a topic of discussion in the team meetings, and the drivers and their staff, because I don't think anybody wants to see this happen again. least of all either one of the drivers.
Yeah, because I mean, like, they commented relentlessly on it. I mean, I think I heard Crofty about cream himself about 62 times whenever he's like, Norris still hasn't said anything on the radio. Like, who cares? Why would he say anything on the radio?
He's a little preoccupied.
Not just that,
I
just got back a place because I screwed up my pit stop, or they screwed up my pit stop. Congratulations, it's a hollow victory.
Yeah, what was he gonna say? You know,
Like, oh God, great, we did it, guys.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, thanks, guys, congratulations, blah blah blah. No, but I know me and you got into it a little bit on this yesterday, Rich, about you saying bullshit team orders. Like, we all can agree team orders are ass to begin with, but at the same time, it's like valid. If there was ever a time to have a team order, I would say a malfunctioning gun is one of those.
I can kind of see it.
Yeah.
I forgot that the gun was malfunctioning.
I forget what race it was, but whenever Max and Yuki both had horrible pit stops because the lights weren't working. Like, if it would have happened to one driver and not the other, and they would have been like, give the position to so-and-so, okay, cool, completely understandable. So that's just where I'm at on it. Like, I don't have a problem with it, in all honesty.
Yeah, circumstances outside the driver's control, where it's, something else. I think Oscar's point was, like, I thought we said that, a slow pit stop was part of racing. And so it seemed like their own rules were being broken, and at least the way it was articulated to him. But still professional, like, handled it well, took it on the chin. Still in first place. I think he's 37 points ahead of Lando still.
I don't think it's that much. It might be more, actually. I think it's more.
Oscar has 324 and Lando has 293.
293.
Currently. So that would be 31 points. Let's go ahead and talk about Ferrari's weekend. Fabian, I'm going to kick it over to you for this one. Like, what's going on with the team in red?
So it's just very interesting. We've watched this incremental increase in comfort with Lewis with the car, who still says that he's not yet fully comfortable with the car, but he's squeezing out more and more performance out of the car each week. This time he ran the car, had the fastest speed around the circuit during the weekend, and had very little tire degradation. What screwed him up this time was the lack of strategy. They didn't go for the undercut. They didn't go for the overcut. And so it took an opportunity. It took an opportunity from him to possibly have an even better result. He did do a really good job of, mitigating that grid penalty and put them in a good position. You're starting to see the yellow badge with the black prancing horse on top. at the top of the list every week. So, from an optimistic Lewis Hamilton fans standpoint and a Tifosi mentality, you're seeing something really promising about what's happening there. And with him being there for the entire year to help with the development of the 26 car, and them looking to build a car with a wider operating window that has more opportunity for both drivers, 2026 and 7 could be really, really interesting years. So this is a nice window of time to watch what's going on with them, to see how much this continues to incrementally increase. I think that if they had given him a good strategy, it's very likely that, he could have easily been P4, if not on the podium for a P3 slot this week. It just didn't happen because of that. But he is absolutely whipping that thing around. I noticed in Q3, in P3, was it P3? P3. I noticed that he had a bunch of lockups, which are very uncharacteristic of him. It was clearly indicative of him absolutely trying to test the extreme limits of that car in different turns and locations, and he did it in different spots. So it's clear, if you know him and his driving style and just the way he runs practice and quali, you can see that he's comfortable enough now to start pushing the car to lockups in P3 because he's trying to figure out where he's going to go with quali. All really cool stuff. Development wise, they're not doing much with, they really don't have a lot of big, things that they're going to drop this season. It doesn't look like. They might have one other thing pop out, maybe, other than that rear wing spec that they came up with for this, because they were running two different types of specs to see what they were going to do with it. But overall, I think their focus is definitely on 26. But in the meantime, we're still seeing them creeping up, creeping up at the top of the charts. And it's interesting to see that Russell, who started off the season kind of strong and looking really, really good, is kind of now just fighting for opportunities to split the Ferraris up when he can.
Yeah, it's funny that in spite of all of their woes and troubles that they seem to consistently have, Ferrari's still in second place. It's wild to me. And yeah, Mercedes is kind of nipping at their heels, but to what effect, really? Antonelli keeps making rookie mistakes, and is really what's holding them back at this point. I'll eat that as if we were wrong, because I started the season saying that he was the only rookie worth a damn because he started so strong. However, I forgot just how long the F1 season is, and coming out after the second break, it's almost like having, 2 seasons entirely. And it's just the way it goes. Let's go ahead and talk.
I was going to comment on
Hey,
the
what
Ferrari.
happened with? Oh yeah, go for it, Jay.
I was just going to say, I can never count Monza as a gauge for Ferrari. They bring a Monza spec package every single season. So I get where you're coming from, Fabian, but that one's just one of those ones where I won't accept it. Now, if they go to Azerbaijan and do something, I'm all about it. I will full on listen. And that's not taking a damn thing away from Lewis coming back up 5 places. So, because you saw it. I had him on my list. So,
yeah. No, you did. Yeah, it's not. You can pull Monza out of it. He's still managed to do this several times this year. He's managed to be, sub P10 and still get that car up into a 6 and better places. So that familiarity piece is just, it's not about the podiums right now. For me, it's just about watching where he's putting the car by the end of the day. You start off on FP1 and it's one thing, and then you wind up in Sunday, and he's in play. P7, P8, P6, P4. That's significant, especially after the whole China sprint thing where he pole positioned it and took the race, and then hasn't even gotten on the podium up to this point. So it's looking more and more like we're going to see a Lewis podium before 25 is over. It's looking that way.
He does appear to be getting a hold of this car and getting up there and much closer to the Charles than he has been pretty much all year. So that's good. And it's good to see from them. Meg, did you have anything on this with Ferrari? No. Okay.
No.
Let's go ahead and shift over, though, because I did want to talk about, and Meg, I'll let you go ahead and kick off with this, but what happened with Ollie Behrman and Sainz?
Well, pretty much towards the end of the race, Sainz and Behrman were competing for, was it 11th place? And technically, according to the rules, Sainz had the racing line because more than his front axle was ahead at the apex. And instead of giving way, Behrman defended very aggressively and caused the collision. And basically, Behrman was issued a 10-second penalty and got 2 points added to his license, which I think is very interesting for multiple reasons, because he is 2 points away from getting a suspension. Yeah, he's at 10. But also,
I love that little motherfucker.
Lingue.
I didn't finish it. Doesn't count.
But yeah,
I gotta bleep that out.
He's 2 points shy of getting suspended. He's got 8 races left in the season, which means he may be the first. Well, a number of things can happen, which I don't think they're going to get rid of him. There's been like absolutely no talk, but I would be. But it's weird that he's at 10 points already, in my opinion. But I'm wondering if he's going to be like the next Kevin Magnussen, where he's just not going to care and be like, screw it, give me the ban and wipe my license. And then he would be the first rookie ever to get a ban. Also the second driver ever to get a ban. But it also just got me thinking in regards to like how the points are given on the super license, on your super license. Because, for example, Liam Lawson has been involved in incidences almost every single race, multiple incidences, almost every single race since he started in F1 last year. He only has 6 points.
It's
right?
wild to me. Yeah.
Max has 9 points. Oscar has 6 points. But basically, Ollie is leading the pack by a shit ton of points. But it also got me thinking too, okay, we really need to discuss what constitutes a curse. Because while I do agree that the F-bomb is a little much, as well as the C word, I feel like I didn't say it.
No, you sacrilegious mother.
I don't think the S word is that bad. But I digress. It also got me thinking, though, usually favoritism is given to the English drivers in F1.
Fair.
And yet they are compounding on Ollie like it's nobody's business.
Yeah.
So partially why Lawson is so much lower is probably half of his points have already faded off. Because if I remember correctly, he was like at 9 last year or a little bit
But it's
higher.
only been a month. They just dropped off because he got his first points in August of last year.
Oh, yeah.
And they fall off.
I thought he
after
got like
a 12-month period.
I thought he got like 3 points in his first race, basically, or first 2 races.
Fabian looked it up earlier. He got 1 point in one race and then 2 points in another race.
Yeah. So he had some stuff going on. Did I lose it? He got what he got was he got 2 in Qatar in 24. Then he got 1 with Stroll and 2 with Hulkenberg in one race in Bahrain.
Oh, so he got 3 points in one race. When is the Bahrain race, though? When was that last year?
It was this year. It was earlier this year.
The
Okay.
first
And then he got another point with Alonso in Miami.
But it's also making me wonder what is constitute, like, how are the FIA like assigning penalty points? Because again, though, Lawson has been involved in an incident of unsafe driving, which would constitute a point.
So that depends on how they rule it, whether it was his fault or the other drivers.
He's
so
gotten penalties, though.
Just because you get a penalty doesn't mean you get points all the time.
But yeah, I think that's the crux of this is how do they divvy out points then?
Yeah.
Like, is it consistent? It seems very inconsistent with the way that they're doing it. And
did I send you the FIA thing?
I think you did, but I can't check text right now on my phone. It seems arbitrary, just like most things with the FIA. It seems like they can manipulate this and change this the way that they want. You know, we're no stranger to FIA chicanery and how they try and seemingly try to keep things competitive and keep the drama happening and forming. And, you know, it's one of the reasons why I don't really like them as a governing body and organization, especially not for F1.
There's also not a lot of transparency at all.
Surprise, surprise.
Oh, it's fairly inconsistent assholes is what the FIA stands for.
I saw that video.
Oh, yes, that girl, right?
Yeah.
She's
It's
my
something
favorite.
in French, I believe, is what FIA actually stands for.
Fédération
Automobile. Yeah.
Automobile.
Who cares? We're crooked.
Permission to curse?
No. If I can't say the F word, neither can you.
I wasn't going to say the F word. I was going to say the C word.
That's even worse.
And no, it depends on where you're from. And where I'm from, it is a sentence enhancer.
I use it as a
Let's
comma.
try and alleviate it. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on from this.
I know it's bad now because a nun told me I couldn't say it.
Well, there you go.
Is that before? Never mind. Just stop it.
Anyway, nope. Moving right along, lady and gentlemen. Fabian, let's talk about what's going on with the like thumbs up and watch outs. We've got some good consistent performance coming out of some of these drivers, and I think Albon is the one that has surprised me the most this year.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. You couldn't have got me to, bet any money that Albon would have the season that he's having, especially in the wake of having a charismatic character like Sainz coming to the team. I thought that would have been more of a disruption than anything for him. And in his case, it certainly has not been. He's got the mental fortitude that Lando Norris wishes he had, truthfully, because the way he has adjusted to this scenario is fascinating. Albon is killing it. He's showing like skill set and mental fortitude that wasn't really on display, maybe because it just wasn't being extracted from him at the time. And he is a top tier driver. I mean, any team would be happy to have him. I can't imagine there's one team on the grid right now that wouldn't want him. I think Red Bull had him at one time, right? And they dumped him, correct? But I mean, that was an Albon of old, and this is the Albon of new. Albon post Sainz is going to be a very valuable player on the market for sure. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's already, working the system, trying to figure out what he's going to do with the rest of his career for the next few years after his contract expires.
Aston Martin should be a team for him.
He would be phenomenal for them.
Is there any word on Alonso retiring, or is he still going to die in that car?
He's probably going to die in the car, but
I don't know. Okay, also, I don't mean like he's going to crash the car and have like a horrible.
He's going to die in his sleep in the car. Yeah,
I mean like old age, decrepit man, just like sitting in a sim one day and just.
Is that before or after Lewis is still going for his 8th?
This is after Lewis wins the race and 2 seasons after Max's daughter finally gets in the F1 car.
I think we'll probably see my best friend Lance Stroll retire before we will see Alonso retire.
Again, a cease and desist does not mean you're going to be sued.
He's my best friend. I love Lance Stroll.
Anyways, backing up here. So we've said this all last year with Albon until he started crash. Or wait, was that 23 we were talking about Albon?
No, last year too.
No, last year he was
crashing a lot,
performing very well. This year he's in
the beginning of the year he was doing really well.
Yeah, but towards the end of the year, wasn't he running in the running for the Deconstructors Championship?
I think he took it actually. Or no, Checo did. Checo did.
Yeah, but we were still talking because he did outwin Logan Sargent.
Yeah. Don't even say it, Rich. Anyways,
national embarrassment is no more.
Anyways, so
he is our cherished frat boy.
He really is. We like him better than Liam Lawson.
Seriously, I would take him over Liam Lawson any day. He's like the Florida State frat boy that I can get behind now.
Stupid hair.
So what about Bortoletto?
Right, we were supposed to be on that topic.
Yeah.
Sorry. You have to score some points this week. Yeah, four points. I mean, he was there. He drove pretty well this weekend. I was up there in qualifying. But yeah.
Also, side note, I am totally behind. Hold on. Side note, I'm interrupting. Totally behind Bortoletto and Behrman, because this interviewer asked both of them, like, yeah, so you guys actually date like normal girls, and they got real offended. They were like, excuse you, what do you mean? And they're like, you know, like not models. And they're like, they were ready to throw hands with this interviewer for that. I applaud that.
Yeah, I like that too. That's extremely disrespectful. And that is not how you conduct an interview.
Nope.
Yeah.
Proceed.
Sainz is in 18th place right now. Yeah. Out of 21 drivers, he's got 12 points. Or no, excuse me, he has 16 points, whereas Albon has 70. So you can say Sainz is pushing him, but how hard? Yeah, like Sainz hasn't gotten a podium yet. Like he's, yeah, I don't think he's
That-
really pushing.
But that's what I'm
that much at
saying.
all.
Yeah, but it is. I mean, look at Charles. You know, it's the same situation. He's
Do you think pushing him in the sense of motivation?
the mere presence of a personality as big as Carlos Sainz, who came into that team with so much momentum from having Ferrari podiums to coming back from a surgery early and winning the race that he raced, you know, after
Are we
Oliver.
talking about his appendicitis surgery?
Right. You know, all that momentum of his character and his ability that he carried into his entrance into Williams, that's a huge disruption and a push for Albon. You know, that's what I'm
Fair.
saying.
Yeah.
And
I
I'm
mean,
not
yeah,
saying
he
that
did. He got. He. Do you think technically did he get demoted to second driver?
I mean, I don't think that they ever, you know, initially it sounded like in the talk around Sainz's arrival that he was going to be the guy, like, and you know, and it would like, and out, it sounded that way. If you look back at all of the press that led up to after the announcement that he was going to Williams, when he finally uncorked the fact that he was going to Williams, it was like, if you look at the way that the media phrased everything around Albon and Sainz being teammates, you got this impression that they just kind of assumed that Carlos was going to get in there and just rock it out and that Albon would be lifted by this, right? That's not what happened. He hasn't rocked anything out the entire time. Doesn't negate the fact that he's been lifted, that Albon has been lifted by it, though.
So I'm going to disagree with you right here. The media doesn't mean shit. The teams weren't saying that either one of them were going to be the team leader or anything like that. Like, that's the biggest thing, is the media talks a whole lot of trash all the time. So I don't really take anything they say other than, okay, cool, grain of salt and a shot of penicillin. So.
Do you have an infection?
Yeah, the FIA.
Do we need to edit that out in case we lose sponsorships?
Not yet.
No, most people would probably agree with us.
I just want people to pay me money.
Other consistent performances. Let's go ahead and segue. But Bortoleto and Hadjar for rookies are doing very well. Gabby, especially this weekend, was very consistent. Isaac just got his first podium. You know, again, I started out the season saying, you know, like 7-8 races in, I think that like it seemed like Antonelli was going to be the only one that was really worth a damn and panning out. However, I was definitely wrong and incorrect. And like very impressed by Hadjar and now getting very impressed by Gabby for putting that stake up into the top 10 and into the points and keeping it there. Yeah, Antonelli actually put him up a place because he got a penalty for who did he make contact with or force him off the track? He forced Albon off the track, going after, I think, what, 7th place? Yeah. Albon finished 7th, and then Gabby finished 8th, and that dropped Kimi down to 9th. And, you know, I think Mercedes is still happy with his performance, and obviously he's a rookie. He's going to make a lot of mistakes, but he is so far no longer the golden boy, and you know he's not performing as well as you know some of his other. You know,
I would just say that
competitors.
his season so far has just been very unremarkable.
Yeah, like I mean, started strong, but in the last, let's see, He scored 3 points in the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 races. 3 points. Whereas in Canada, he, scored 15. So, yeah, he fizzled out. The summer break wasn't kind to him, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what specifically you could, pinpoint it on, because Russell is scored points in every single race but one so far this year. And yeah, unfortunately, like, he's just, trying to split the Ferraris and, do what he can there. But, the car obviously isn't exactly what it needs to be and where it should be. Common topic, but do you guys think that Lewis has any kind of buyer's remorse switching teams now? Or what do you think?
No, definitely not, especially not after Monza in particular. I think Monza was another shot of adrenaline for him when he got out there and saw exactly what it's all about. I mean, these Tifosi love him to death. They're rooting for him. They're happy for what he's achieving with the car right now. They're also very forward-looking with this season into the next regulation cycle, and they're watching the same things that we're talking about. These incremental strides forward up the grid. And when he got out there for the media day and the press day, and got out to the big square where everybody was to greet them, and the way that they chanted for him, I mean, it literally broke him down to tears. He was a sobbing mess, and he knows that he hasn't delivered a podium for him yet. I mean, he's the guy. He's standing there with that as his reality, and they cheered for him as if he was Michael Schumacher. It was unbelievable.
Quick question. So on this race, the Ferrari was not quick on the straights, right?
It was slower, yeah.
I'm wondering if that will come to their advantage next race.
Trying to see where Lewis hit that max speed. He had the highest top speed. And
I thought they were fast in the straights and slow in the corners.
That's what it was. Yes.
That's what it was? Okay.
Yeah. Because he hit the highest top speed ever at Monza.
Because I was going to say, if he hit the highest top speed and was slow in the straights, there's something very wrong with why he wasn't 6 minutes down the road.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that they said something about the car, and I just could not remember what it was.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. Let's go ahead and, what in the world is going on with Alpine this year? Does anybody know? Like, do you guys got anything on this other than they're just performing absolutely horribly?
I'm not going to lie.
Car is trash.
They were a team until you said something.
Yeah, it's very forgettable with they're in dead last with only 20 points.
Who's driving again with Gasly?
Colapinto.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that is sad.
Yeah. And I mean, it's obviously not a Colapinto issue when it's Gasly's having issues as well.
Yeah.
It's just that car is not what it needs to be and where it should be.
I will say interesting there's how, like, in the past couple of weeks, how many issues across the board there have been with the cars.
Yeah, I sometimes wonder if they just abandoned all engineering upgrades and focus and are just solely focused on 2026.
Abandon all upgrades who enter here.
There are several teams that have already taken that position this year. So, they're out there just driving the wheels off of what they got, coming up with setup changes that might be unconventional, that might result in the driver being able to do something with the car that the sim doesn't indicate that they can. That's what happened with Max this week. That's exactly what was going on. Max is now able to talk to this team principal in a technical way that he could not talk to Horner. And they collectively, between the sim people, the engineers, him, Mickey's, and Max, came up with a setup option that was not conventional to what they normally do. And lo and behold, you put Max behind the car, behind the wheel of the car, and bingo, all of a sudden you see 2023 Max again.
I was questioning the promotion of Mickey's, but I don't think I am anymore at all. It seems like he's got it pretty well dialed in. He was the right man for the job, and he's showing that. And especially being able to speak technically to Max and hear him out and listen to his inputs and build this car the way it needs to be built. It's set up that way. It's paying dividends, and so good on him. Hopefully, he doesn't have any funky WhatsApp messages.
So I will say this now. This is now the second race where they've listened to Max and Max has won it. Or listened to somebody that Max trusts.
You're talking about the guy that did his setup for the other race. Yeah. I mean, Max, look, Max is going to be an incredible team owner / principal, whatever he winds up doing, because of his deep understanding of all things racing facet, right? He's got it all on lock. And you're absolutely right. I mean, I agree with you 100%. And learning that Christian Horner basically relied on the sim data to direct the engineering team on how to set up the car and not so much on Max's input about the car is shocking revelation, because it's been specifically stated that that's not what was happening with Christian, and that is what's happening with Mekis and how they got to the result that they got to. And if that continues for the rest of the season and you see Max P2, P1, it's going to tell a lot of people who are looking at Horner a lot about him, and they may leave him on the shelf.
Which would be nice.
Yeah. Let him go.
So
yeah.
I know I think I posted this video to you, Rich, yesterday. I don't think I sent it to the whole group. But everybody being like, is Max actually back? If Max is back, oh crap, are we screwed? Is this going to be the end? Tell me that would not be the most insane comeback ever.
I mean, yeah, it definitely would be, especially if he was able to, move up in the Drivers' Championship, although he's almost 100 points behind Oscar at this venture. So you need some DNFs and some wins out of Max.
Where's Oscar going to make up the engine penalty that he's going to have to take?
I mean, there's 8 races left.
I thought there was 9.
There's 8 races.
Austin.
Okay.
I think Austin maybe.
I would say Brazil would be the place to take an engine if you're going to take one.
Okay. Yeah, and that's fair. Yeah. So that'd be.
But if it rains, Oscar kind of has a little problem with the rain.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, in Lando,
Australia, Silverstone.
So that would be great. Yeah.
So here's the thing: is that I will say this now. There's going to be at least one more DNF for Lando this year.
Mm-hmm.
So realistically, if Max can get real Lando back in, which I think there's 60 points between the two of them or something like that.
Wait, Oscar has an engine penalty?
He's going to have to take one. He just took his 4th engine, and there's still 8 races left. He's going to have to take one, especially with the way those Mercedes engines are being this year.
Mm.
So
yeah, not his fault. It seems to be the issue.
Yeah,
for Mercedes.
I'm not saying it's his at all.
No, I did not hear anything about him having assigned an engine penalty yet.
No, he hasn't, because he just took his 4th engine in Monza. Like everybody in the grid took a new engine.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
But realistically, you've got to figure there's going to be at least one DNF out of Lando. And some sort of freak accident, like a hydraulic brake or, a suspension brake on like Fernando had yesterday. Like, there's going to be something that happens to Oscar's car. He cannot have 2 years of good luck with a car.
Stop putting that shit out into the universe. Sorry.
No, because I want a 3-way championship. I want to see this.
I want to see it with someone else.
No, sorry.
I know we would all like to see that. If anything, I think there would be the battle for second place, where if Lando has another DNF, possibly 2, but I just have a hard time seeing him come up with 94 points.
So, like I said, 25 points. If it rains in Brazil and Max can take first, Oscar does not do well in the rain at all.
Mm-hmm.
So you figure maybe 10th, 9th at best, because there's a lot of good drivers now that can drive in that rain. So making up that kind of
down that far.
He's going to have to take a full engine, like engine and ice, which means he's going to be starting at. I'm talking about like one race where he could lose a lot of points. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think he's that terrible in rain because Spa was a wet race too.
Wasn't that bad?
It was in the very, very beginning for like 6 laps, and then it dried out.
Yeah.
Good.
So
yeah, they delayed it for the rain, and that allowed the track to dry off. If they had raced in that and raced at the time that it was starting, like that would be definitely valid. I want to see it. You know, I love the competitiveness. I just think that at this point he's kind of ran away with it because again, it's 94 points. That's 4 first place finishes where he would have to like D and F, and there's 8 races left. So unless he has literally like the worst possible end to his season and the last third of the year, I can't see it happening.
Zach Brown gets revenge for Silverstone. Or not Silverstone, Spa.
And that's another, you know what? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. I feel like it would be more realistic speaking if Lando was the holder and 94 points ahead. I could see, as terrible as this is to say, I can see him getting into his head about it and starting to make mistakes and having Max close that gap. But one thing is Oscar has demonstrated that he is extremely level-headed. He's
except for whenever he starts losing.
When?
Which is unlikely to occur. So, like, I think, you know,
I'm not saying it's realistic at all.
No, we're talking about it in what ifs. Yeah. But I'm saying if that was something that would happen, I would see it more likely happening if Lando was the lead with that. Especially with a teammate so close on his heels like Lando is to him now. I'm thinking that Oscar is just too level-headed of a driver.
I'm fully on board with this, and if you had said that you think Max can take second away from Lando, like I'm not going to argue with you or dispute that. I think he could. I think your scenario is very, very valid. I just can't see him doing it to Oscar.
I'm gonna laugh.
Besides, how many wet races, theoretically speaking, how many probable wet races do we have in the remainder of the season?
3?
Brazil?
I think there's 3, right, Rich?
I mean, Azerbaijan, probably not.
No.
Singapore. Singapore's possible. Austin, but
no, Austin is not going to do it.
No,
they've already flooded. It's fine. They've already flooded, so they're not going to flood again. The water has come and gone.
Then we got Mexico City. Then we've got Brazil. Then we have Vegas. Probably not. And then we've got Qatar and Abu Dhabi.
Okay, so 2. Sorry, I was 1 off.
Yeah, no, you're fine. I mean, that's just where, like, I think it's just too far-fetched. I get what you're saying. It's not without merit. It's actually good analysis. I don't coincide with it.
Unless we have another scenario like Crashgate, where they try to take him out.
Or something, you know? Yeah. And
which would be actually really fun because then it would give me something to rant about for like an hour and a half.
Yeah, I think like short of him getting injured, it's just like too far. But go ahead, Jay.
I was gonna say, pull a Danny Ricciardo.
Oh man, why you gotta go there, bro? Why you gotta go there?
Well, who was the other one involved in that incident? Who was the other one? Go ahead, I'll wait.
I'm not talking about it.
Okay, because it was Oscar. Anyways, so that would be very karmatic if, you know, he got injured because doing something, especially at the race coming up. Because wasn't that where Danny? No, he got injured at Zandvoort. Never mind.
Yeah.
Or you could do like Lance Stroll did and just get hurt doing something completely unrelated to F1.
Well, I mean, his mom's already yelled at him about motocross, so.
As she should, bro. You have a primary job doing dangerous things.
Right.
Well, no, not just that. She actually like legit called him out for. She's like, I have to have almost a heart attack every weekend when we drive. I'm not going to be watching you do motorcycles. Like, yeah.
And technically, he doesn't have a frontal lobe yet, so he should still somewhat listen to his mother.
Valid.
We got anything for Conspiracy Corner, Meg or Jay? What do you guys got this week?
I had a thought and immediately lost it. Jay, go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, I think if Max can't get close enough to Lando, or not Lando, but to Oscar, I could see him taking out Oscar to help out Lando.
But yeah, because I don't feel like really Oscar's friends with anyone.
I don't even think his own family likes him. But
no, his sister likes him.
But
his sister is honestly, she is the star of that family. I am in love with
Oh,
her
absolutely.
She's the most interesting. Like, she is literally the
It's like
embodiment
Penelope.
of the Dos Equis man for that
the
family.
most interesting woman in the world. Yeah, like her brother's just like an F1 star and future world drivers champion.
Yeah, but like she steps on the paddock looking like a straight up hippie, and everyone's just like, ooh, something new.
Right? No, it's just like, it's the Penelope factor. They make him human.
Yeah. She's so freaking cute, though, Penelope. Anywho, back to what we were saying. What were we saying?
I was saying that Max takes
Conspiracy
out
corner.
Oscar.
My conspiracy is Liberty Media controls so much of F1 due to their like broadcasting rights that they interfere with the FIA, who then interferes with team orders to try and keep things interesting and keep people watching. But I don't really think that's a conspiracy, and actually just probably true.
I was going to say, most of our conspiracies are actually true there, Meg. It's not fair anymore.
You know what's interesting is team orders are not a thing in other motorsports.
Also, I looked up; they're not banned anymore. They were
Really?
banned. Yeah, here, hold on. I had it pulled up. Give me a second, because my short attention span has.
I fully support it.
I was when you like mentioned the ban, I was like perplexity.
I was going to say, did that wear off like 2 or 3 years ago, maybe?
No, actually 2011, So in 2002, there was that incident at the Austrian Grand Prix, which started the ban on team orders, but they lifted the ban in 2011. So now basically team orders are legal, but they're expected to be used responsibly without bringing the sport into disrepute. But again, that's all subjective.
I was going to say, that sounds very
Hard to
subjective.
enforce.
Like everything with the FIA.
Clear as mud.
Clear as mud. I love it.
All right, well, let's go ahead and get ready to wrap. What do you guys got for bold predictions for Azerbaijan? Street course, so I'm going to go ahead and give mine. I'm going Oscar in first, Lando second.
Oh, shocker.
Shush.
Stop hating.
Max in third, Russell in fourth, and then Charles fifth.
He had Lando second.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty.
Are we still doing top five, or are we just doing top
I thought we were just doing top
Yeah.
five, not this first, second, third stuff.
Still
Well,
fighting.
I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. We are still just doing top five, but
Okay.
I'm just adding a little.
Could you wiki leak that memo then to me?
Let's see, Fabian, who you got?
So I've got Oscar, Max, Lando, Leclerc, and Norris.
Okay, pretty safe. Jay, what about you?
I think y'all forget that the Red Bull is historically strong in Baku.
Yeah, but they've also been having car problems lately.
They had a lot of car
getting-
problems
they're
last
getting-
year at Baku, and
Rich
They're
has
getting
Max
better.
on his list. I have Max on my list.
Max is on
that
my
list.
list.
So how are we
No,
forgetting?
no, I'm saying that one there was
Oh.
saying Max third.
Oh.
So
Yeah,
that's
no.
where I'm going with it.
Do you remember the freaking crazy overtake that Oscar did at Baku? He's ready to do it again.
So Jay's got
That
Max.
was a lot
Max
of
first.
feeling.
No, I'm not saying who's going to be first, second, or third. I'm not that dumb.
Who you got?
I'm going to say Max, Charles, George. Ooh, that
Why?
hurts.
Why did you do this?
Hold on.
Why? Okay,
No.
he did well last year, but still.
No. I got my reasoning here, and you're going to like this. Well, no, you're going to hate this reasoning, but it's accurate.
Is it because he looks like Ellen DeGeneres? Sorry, we can edit that.
No, that's great.
We're not.
That's so good.
Never going to be allowed in the paddock.
Hadjar is going to be up there again.
Ooh, good call.
And I'm going to put the dumb Kiwi in there.
Why would you do this?
Because Lando and Oscar are going to take themselves out in Baku. And hear me out. Hear me out. Anytime there's a major crash, where is it? Or something so stupid of a crash happens. Danny, Rick, and Max, Baku. Sergio Perez and Sainz, Baku. There's a couple more that are in there.
What
too.
happened? Was there a crash last year? I don't remember.
That was Sainz and
Sainz
and Perez.
and Perez. Last lap.
No, it wasn't last lap. It was like
towards the end.
I think it was like the
though.
last 5 somewhere in there. Yeah, it was. Because isn't that whenever Sainz Senior had or not Sainz Senior, Perez Senior had the heart attack? Actually,
I thought the
believe that
heart
was
attack
Monaco.
was after Monaco.
It was.
I thought he had something wrong after Baku as well.
No, it was after Monaco.
Dude, it was literally lap 50 of 51. I
So
thought
you
it was the
must-
last. That's why I thought it was the last lap. It was lap.
Yeah.
Just
Fair
tripping
enough.
over the finish.
They were just
no.
about. Yeah.
Like there is stupid things that happen, and that is the absolute prime example of Baku is an insane track that crazy stuff happens. We have literally been saying that it is going to come to a head between Oscar and Lando. There is no questions. It's going to happen. Maybe this is the way Max starts working his way back into the championship.
You're just going to see Lando riding on Max's plane a little more often, and then he's going to start like just putting jabs in like, yeah, your teammate, he doesn't want to like abide by team orders. And, I was shocked he didn't actually try and puncture your tire when you were going past him.
Zach Brown sitting out in the stands with the blow dart gun.
Pointing at his tattoos for Lando for both of his wins.
Yep.
Oh, man. Alrighty, y'all. Well, we are going to take.
Hold on. Wait, no, I got to go. I didn't even get to go. That was rude.
Go.
Yeah,
I'm
way
sorry.
to go, Rich.
Is it because I'm a
My
chick?
bad. Yes, I'm sexist. I'm going to send you dirty WhatsApp messages about cereal later.
Oh my God. I hate you all.
Wait, is that going to be bleeped out? Anywho, I think it's going to be Oscar, Max in second, Lando in third, and then Charles and George.
Okay.
And then I had a thought, and then I lost it.
These things happen. But yeah, let's go ahead and wrap it up in case that thought comes through in the next 10 seconds. But this has been Formula One Fans of America, Season 2, Episode 19. Thank you all for joining, and we will see you in 2 weeks because I am traveling back from Europe next week, and so this will be my last European show for the foreseeable future. So, yeah, thanks for listening.